You want to touch this side? Okay. Let me pull my phone. Okay. Can you hear me? I'm gonna share it. Share. Ish. Hi, Carl. Sorry, I'm here. So, you just get my face all bright and shiny. I did have. Hey, Liam. Hey, Liam! I know where you're from. What time is it there? I feel like it's gotta be like 4 o'clock or something. Anyway. So, I'm thinking about, yes, I've had a few drinks. I'm thinking about doing a new thing where I start, or where I create videos giving advice, relationship advice, or how to be attractive to women. Because I do get a lot of advice. Hi, hi, thank you, that's very sweet. I do get a lot of questions, or not necessarily complaints, but expressions that men are from men that are having trouble getting and keeping a relationship. So maybe I could help with that. I hope. So, number one, I do think that appearance matters. It doesn't mean like you have to be fit or tall or whatever, but I think that if your clothes are wrinkled, personally, if your clothes are wrinkled, I'm gonna be like, oh, they didn't put a lot of effort into their outfit. Or if your teeth are really gross. So a lot of times I'll see where people's teeth are white right here, but then right here at the very top they'll have like very thick plaque maybe, or just it's really not attractive if you have anything right there. So hygiene is a big deal for women. But maybe I could do some like relationship coaching to help. Maybe not. I don't know. You guys can tell me what you think. Anyway, how are you guys tonight? Should I keep my list going? Maybe you found yourself doing some of these things that are wrong in trying to attract women. Anyway, so wrinkled clothes. Oh, and clothes that fit. So one time I was dating this doctor. Obviously he had a great job. Okay, thank you, Roy. I will keep going. So obviously he had a great job, had a really nice car, whatever, that stuff's very superficial. But he would buy clothes that were like 3 sizes too small. And I don't know. Men wearing really, 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 really tight pants that are like skin tight, I personally don't like it. Mostly because it looks uncomfortable. Am I going too far? Anyway, he'd also wear shirts that were extremely tight. Maybe I should stop. I hope I'm not offending anyone. Tight-ish jeans are okay, or pants or whatever, but there's a level of tight Okay. There's a level of tight that's like okay, and then there's a level, there's like crossing a line. I'm going on a rant right now. You know what sounds good? Ice cream. So I'm probably gonna go. Does he? No, you don't need to wear brand name. You don't need to wear brand name anything, Carl. I don't wear brand name stuff. Look at this stuff. This is like cheap clearance rack stuff. But whatever he wears needs to fit correctly and needs to not be wrinkled or worn out or whatever. It needs to look like he takes care of his clothes and like he cares about things. Like he cares for his stuff. Hey, Kay. I like that. Hey, Vic Reeves. Anyway. Another thing that I see is men that try to grow facial hair. There'll be like really scraggly hairs that are longer than other hairs. So if you're going to grow facial hair, keep it trimmed. Keep it all an even length. It doesn't matter if it's patchy, because I get it. It's hard to grow facial hair in the beginning stages because it always looks patchy. Like every guy has that problem. But definitely don't let there be a... You can wear cowboy boots, Carl. I like a cowboy. I grew up on a farm. So you definitely don't want to see like one really long hair and then the rest short hair. That's gross. I don't know why it's gross, but it's gross. Like if I had all like very smooth skin and then one random long black hair growing out of my face, you'd be like, Josie. Or Casual, sorry. I forget that I can't say my real name. Josie, I'll just say it. Josie, why do you have a gross black hair growing out of your face? Same for guys. Trying to think of what else. Complaining. This does not really have to do with appearance. But if you're just going to sit there and complain the whole time, which is what I'm doing right now, no, it's really not. I don't know. Am I giving advice or am I complaining? Debatable. But if you're going to sit there and be like, gosh, okay, what is something I could complain about? Gosh, I cannot, the grocery store did not accept my expired coupons. And I am so mad. I hate that grocery store. Nobody wants to hear that. People don't like negative people. They like positive people. Am I right? Maybe that wasn't the best example because I feel like people don't even like try to use coupons anymore. But you get it. Anyway, are you in your car? Yes, I'm in my car. I'm out. So I had some wine in this place. I don't like to drive after having it, so I like to sit in my car for a long time. It's really freezing balls cold out here, and so I can't just leave my car off. Is it hard to hear me? Are you having trouble hearing me? The person trying to write a check, though. Trying to write a check, though. What? Hey! I write checks. On occasion. Don't make fun of people that write checks. Okay, good. You can hear me. But, seriously, do you have any questions about, like, or what has been your worst experience in trying to attract a woman? Like, what do you feel... What goes wrong? for you, if anything. You could be in a committed relationship for all I know, any of you. But what do you feel like happens that you don't really understand or would like to change, or just have like a question about, if anything? Sorry, I'm fiddling with my nails and stuff. They're interested in other dudes. I mean, maybe. Yeah. So be the interesting guy. Good question. I'm still trying to figure out what I did wrong. I don't know. Shame. But you have to be the interesting guy, Roy. Like, put yourself out there and grab... Hi, Mike H. Grab her attention. If I'm giving advice on, like, getting her attention, what makes someone interesting? Okay. The people that I have been interested in most in my lifetime have had a life other than have had a life other than me. You want someone that's secure in their life, has hobbies, that's not necessarily staring at a screen, not unhealthy hobbies. I'm not attracted to people that are into drugs or drinking every single night of their life. Just healthy hobbies. Because whenever you get with someone, you don't want to be the source of their happiness. You want them to have their own happiness, and then you add to it, and vice versa. Like, you don't want for someone to be the sole source of your happiness, because that's how you get hurt. If they break up with you, you're like, oh wow, every ounce of my happiness and every moment of my time that all I spent my time doing was with this person. So no, you don't want to do that. You have your own separate lives, and then you add to each other's happiness. Does that make sense? Is that good advice? There's a quote by Aristotle. It says, happiness depends upon ourselves, and it's very true. Who are you attracted to here? That's exactly the advice I needed to hear. Thanks, Jay. You're welcome. So, I can't really say that I'm attracted to any one person. I guess some people have really attractive personalities. Some people have really attractive... Some people are really physically attractive. Some people do things for me that are very attractive. So, it all varies. I will say that combining if you even combine just two of those things and put them into one person, it definitely makes them a lot more attractive and stands out more than others. And I like people that have things in common with me, too. I guess. I also like older men. Should I say that? I like men that are at least 15 years older than me. I ate a very unattractive amount of cookies this week. Mike, that's me every week. I ate a very unattractive amount of fudge this week. And probably cookies too, and pie. Same, Mike. But yeah. And really, maybe I shouldn't be giving this advice because I've never really been good at dating. And I was never the attractive person in high school. I was always a person that people made fun of. The 18-pack abs have grown into a 24-pack. Is that good or bad? Could be both. Could be one or the other. I mean, the more abs, the better? Or is like there a limit on how many abs you can have before it looks? I think I know what you mean, though. I enjoyed the hell out of it. You answered that question really well. Thanks, Carl. I'm not sure if I answered it, but thanks, Carl. It's kind of getting hot in here. You wouldn't know it by my body, but it is getting hot in here. Are there any other questions? Because if there is not, I'm probably going to walk to go get some ice cream and hopefully not get beat up or harassed. I will have a little small rant. This town, I actually used to live here, has turned, like, the population. What did you have for dinner tonight? What kind of ice cream? Okay, so I like birthday cake ice cream. It's called birthday cake. It has cake and ice cream in it. It's so good. And I know the lady at the ice cream store by name because I go there so much. And she knows me also. And I get, like, VIP treatment, which is probably not something to brag about for an ice cream store. And Vic Reeves, I had salmon and Brussels sprouts. And wine. And it was good. It was all good. It was really good. So, if there aren't any more questions, I'm gonna go ahead. Oh, wait. What about this town? We all need to know someone who can hook us up randomly. Let me tell you about this town. Okay, so I used to live here when I was pregnant. No, wait. Yeah, I was pregnant, but I also just had a kid. And yes, my kids are very close together because I just don't know what birth control is, apparently. But I was living in this apartment complex. And I lived there for 6 months. And in that 6 months, there were 3 murders. Keep in mind, this apartment complex only had 4 buildings, so it was very small. And each building only had 2 floors. So, yeah, a lot of people were getting killed. And it used to be a really nice town, but the population started growing faster than law enforcement could keep up with, I guess. And so there was like a deficit of law enforcement, and there was a lot of people moving in. So it was very violent. And every time I go to this Walmart over here, the other day, I was in the makeup aisle and I was looking at things that I definitely... Yes! 3-in-1 complex. It was crazy. I was looking at the makeup aisle, looking for things that I don't need. I love makeup, by the way. And around the corner comes this guy, and he's like, hey. And I'm like, okay, so A, I'm not a stuck-up person. I will talk to anybody. I'll talk to a fence post. And I'm like, oh, hey. And I go back to what I'm doing. And he's like, what? Like, what are you doing? And I'm like, well, I'm very obviously looking at makeup. But I'm like, I'm just looking at makeup. And he's like, oh, I'm having a really hard time. And I think he's hinting that he wants money, but I don't have any because, I mean, unless he has like a card reader, then I can't really give him money. And he's like, I'm like, I don't have any money. I don't have a lot of anything. I don't even have a job. And he's like, well, where do you live? And I'm like, well, not here. I live about 40 miles from here. And he's like, can I stay with you? And I'm like, no. Why would you think that you could stay with me? And he's like, continues talking. And at this point, I'm like, I don't want to talk to this guy if he's going to ask to stay with me. So I start walking the other direction. I'm like, have a good day. And he's like, I'm not done talking to you. And I'm like, oh. He's getting really aggressive. And so I just keep walking. He's like, hey. And I'm like, and I'm pushing my car a lot faster. And I'm thinking my lucky stars that my kids are not with me because I wouldn't want them to have to go through that because this guy started being really aggressive. Yeah, exactly, Aaron. He was crazy. But that happens to me on a regular basis. The other day I was at Hobby Lobby and I was buying, so my kid's birthday is very close to Christmas. And I was buying a bunch of birthday decorations. I'd say call security, but Walmart. You know, I just wanted to get out of there. So I left earlier than I should have. Like, I needed a few other things, but I left early. I don't see 20 years. Happy New Year. Wish you the best. Thanks, Carl. Note to self, don't ask to stay with her. Mike, you know what? If you don't know her, don't ask. That guy didn't even know my name. He was just being a weirdo. And the thing is, he looked normal. He looked totally normal. He didn't look like he was gross or crazy or anything. He looked normal. But anyway, I was at Hobby Lobby. And I had a bunch of child birthday decorations. He really likes cowboys. So I had a bunch of cowboy-related birthday decorations in my cart. And I thought, you know, I really like painting. I'll just go head over there to the paint aisle really quick and do something. I'm always being very selfish when this happens. Maybe I should just stop going to aisles that are for me. Then this wouldn't happen. Maybe this is karma. Anyway, this guy, very old guy, walks past my aisle, and I'm like, I look over because I'm paying attention to my surroundings. And he looks at me and I look at him and I'm just like, I just kind of smile. And then I go back to what I'm doing, looking at paint. And then he backs up and goes down my aisle and I'm like, oh God. He goes, Merry Christmas. And I'm like, oh, Merry Christmas. And I just keep staring. I don't even look at him. I just keep staring at my paint. And he comes up behind me and like starts breathing down my neck. And he's like, you're a queen and you deserve to be treated like one. And I'm like, what the okay. I mean, he's right, but it's kind of weird to approach someone in an aisle of Hobby Lobby and say that, but whatevs. And I was like, thanks. Never looking at him. And then he's like, I got a gift for you. I'm like, ugh, what is it? And he pulls out 3 pieces of candy. That's so inappropriate. It wasn't appropriate. Thankfully, they were not Werther's Originals, which I anticipated them to be. They were just like 3 off-brand versions of just, this is about how my interaction would go, with you would go. I don't know, Mike. But anyway, he pulls them out. They're very warm from being in his gross pocket. And of course I take them because I'm not a complete a-hole. Anyway, I take them and then I start making a phone call, which was not actually a phone call, on my phone. And He tells me how beautiful I am, and then I was like driving away with my cart. And this was all in the same week, by the way. So I'm always very nice to these people. I'm not like, ew, you sicko. Because for all I know, they could have really good intentions and just be like conveying them in a weird way. No, I didn't eat them. I'm pretty sure I have them in my purse. Let me look. I'm gonna find these candies for y'all. Y'all are gonna see how gross they are. Ha! Okay. These weird candies. You like them? Would you eat them? Why do I still have them? I'm getting rid of these. See, you need me to emergency call you in these situations to get you out of them. I need a bodyguard is what I need. Or I guess I just need to like carry a pistol and flash it at them. Not really, but I need to just start dressing like a man. Or have like a dip in my mouth or something and be like acting all manly. Then maybe they would be like, ugh, gross, and just keep walking. All right, well, I think I'm gonna go get my ice cream now because that's basically all I can think about. And then I'm gonna go to the VFW and talk to some. I had a roommate who dipped and left his spit cups all over the house. Please don't. Yeah, they kind of stink up the place after a few days, huh? Fine. It's gonna be really difficult for me not to dip, but I guess I won't. All right, folks. Thanks for listening, and I hope you guys have a really good night. Hope my video was entertaining. Good night. Enjoy your night, Liam.